TV, Masculine Mindset, TikTok, AZD underscore IMC Nation, and this other Instagram account when the device updates. What's up, everybody? I'm Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation, founder of Ninth Limb Yoga here at IMC Eden House to tell you a little bit more about the game and what I've been experiencing training with AZD, going out with him, being part of his lectures, and his meetings. The meetings are less and less and less lectures as time goes on. It's more of a mastermind. Oh, this is opening, meaning a dialogue. But don't forget that I'm in a dialogue group with the number one player alive. Okay, I'm about to start this thing. Dang, she's kind of sexy. Ah, dude, that was a dude that was posting a chick. That's so weird. People do that. All right. Uh, what was I gonna call this? Originally, I was gonna call this day game versus night game because that is a question that comes up. Basically, on these accounts, it's pretty obvious that this guy AZD is a top player among players. He gets a lot of women, and that's how he talks. It's the clips that and what he says. And if you go and follow his personal account or go look at it because it's posted in all these social media accounts, then you would see that, pre-selection galore, meaning lots of pretty girls really like him. It's obvious. What's up, IMC Base One? The device was updating, so you can see the full stream on AZD IMC Nation Instagram or just catch up. And some guys are not aware that he's like a player and has, multiple women. But then most guys do know, and then some of those they really know. Like they're into pickup. They've been knowing about AZD for a long time. They're into game. They study other dating coaches and pickup coaches. And so they're aware that there's this guy, AZD, who has multiple relationships with nines and tens for many years. And all of them, most of them are really skeptical or just offended that a guy could be that successful. And the rest of them are students. But if you are aware of game and pickup and you're aware that this guy AZD exists with multiple women and you're not a student, then you're a hater, you're butthurt, or you're a skeptic, like to the nth degree where it's like unreasonable skepticism because now AZD's removed a lot of his YouTube videos. So the old pre-selection is not there, but you just have to look at his personal. And if you have any ideas that these are like fake girlfriends or paid girls in any way, you deny your own eyes. Like you could literally see an alien appear right in front of you and you deny it. You'd be like, it's not an alien. That's just the reflection off of a car or something. It'd be retarded. Like you could see a dog walking on like one leg. It's missing three legs and it's one-handed hopping. And you would see it and you would deny it. Nah. 'Cause that's basically the level of miraculousness when you see this guy AZD. Now, it's common for us. We've been around it for a while, but it's pretty miraculous that just this regular guy, he's not regular, but like he was born just, a human, can be so successful. I've been in field with him, like what I saw last night, can be so successful at dominating women, but with no effort. It looks nothing like what you would think if you hear me say dominating women. It's amazing. It's just showing so much range in communication and so grounded. So he doesn't lose himself. He's not like on drugs or drunk or something where he's just like out there. And but not just anchored range. It's something very playful that whatever she says or does, he's got a response. And maybe sometimes it's like he's been in that situation before he knows what to say. But a lot of times it's so organic. Maybe he has understandings and perspectives because he's around women all the time. And he's been teaching game for a long time and he's been in the game even longer than that. So it's like a certain mastery of familiarity of the beautiful woman and being around multiple beautiful women at the same time. Meanwhile, educating yourself with all the psychology that deals with that stuff that it's called evolutionary psychology, all the game theory and double your dating and negs and language patterns and all the stuff that all the pickup and dating coaches ever teach, all the evolutionary psychology, and then the real living experience of two, three, four, five, six, seven, multiple girls hanging out with them and seeing the nature of attraction and jealousy and what topics and what rubs her wrong way, not her, and then having really good communication to facilitate because the girls, some of them might be friends outside of the relationship with AZD, but it's similar to IMC Nation. I mean, these guys are great guys, like, but what's up? Elise O'Ray. Elise, are you a chica? Elise is typically a girl's name. Uh, these guys, I wouldn't ever really discover them. Maybe some of them I cross paths at the gym. Like if I was going to the gym during that time in my life and that 15-minute segment we line up. Other than that, I would never meet these guys. Maybe out some pickup if I was into studying pickup. If AZD didn't exist, but pickup still exists, so we were all still studying pickup, I might cross paths with some of these guys eventually. But I doubt that we'd be friends because we look so different that I don't know that we'd have the kind of rapport. And if we did, it would only be like with one of them. I'm a dude, bro. Alicio, what's up? What's up? Where are you from, Alicio? What's up, Dairy Legendary Pickles? What's up? Where you guys from? So I don't know that I'd be friends with these guys outside of IMC Nation, but because of IMC Nation and the level of game that we're following, meaning AZD is so far ahead of the second place, third place, fourth place dating coach, pickup coach, whatever around the world, that it's just stupid to study anybody else. Unless he's referencing it and saying, study this, study that. You could do it, get a contrast, maybe you get something from it, but it's really likely that you'll pick up some bad habits or some weird frames of mind. You don't know how to look at the information. And so you'll get dead end habits, habits that'll just result in a dead end in your dating. They got double your dating is dead end dating. That's learned from every dating coach out there. Dead end dating. Because it won't get you anywhere. Those guys don't have long-term relationships while they're picking up new chicks. It's one thing to have long-term relationships, but then you become old hat. Like you're not teaching new stuff. There's some master pickup coaches who are just in a relationship and they're not accumulating new relationships. You know, and then there's guys that are always picking up chicks, but they don't have long-term relationships. And then there's guys that have long-term relationships and have to hide them, either hide their pickup from the relationship or hide the relationship from the world because they're not high value enough or they're not in agreements enough, they don't represent them enough. Or there's just something too weak about that. Because if you're a dating coach and you're a master of dating and seduction and whatever that is that's teaching, show me something. You don't have to like put your girl on OnlyFans. I'm not asking you to make out or something. I'm not even asking her to really talk, but like have some, that's why AZD is very organic with it. He has a Instagram and a TikTok, personal, and a YouTube, but and it happens on YouTube also on his streams. You'll hear the girlfriends in the background. He'll invite them on for a second, say this, like, and then you could come in as a hater slash unreasonable skeptic and be like, those are hired girls, this and that. What do you want me to say, man? It's too bad he took down his YouTube videos from 10 years ago. The same girls are around. You know how much it would cost to hire a girl to be around for like 10 years just to be your assistant? What do you think AZD does to make money? Oh, he's swindling guys, teaching them dating, but he doesn't really have relationships. Bro, I don't know what to tell you. I lived with him for 4.5 years, and nobody has a budget for that except like what do you call it? Saudi royal family. They're maybe paying for women or whatever. Like, that's just not what's happening. They're real girlfriends. You hear them. You know, I'm not here to put that out there, but I mean, it's real. Well, he's buying whores, bro. These girls, the way they look, if they were whores, they could get a lot more money than whatever AZD could pay them. Like these girls, especially when the main relationships that came from Silicon Valley, like there's billionaires around, dude. We knew dancers that got tens of thousands, up to 100,000 just for dating. Like not even, she didn't even fool around with the guy. So she said, I mean, whatever. It's inside information because relationships do that. You get inside information. So it's the girls that AZD are with could get way richer guys if they were just tricking a guy. Every single one of them could get a richer guy than AZD. And if that he's got so many relationships, over five. I'm not even gonna say how many, but he's got over five legitimate girlfriends. Over five. Each one of them individually could get a richer guy. So man, you just gotta keep looking until it's familiar enough with you that you're not shocked like cold water splashing you. And then you realize there's a guy who was a nerd, who was an immigrant, who in a second language learned the culture, learned acting, learned martial arts, learned communication, and then learned well, each of those subjects got advanced in those things, advanced martial arts, advanced communication, advanced acting, like got advanced, not just like a 3 month hobby or something, watched it on YouTube. It wasn't YouTube at the time. He's 48 years old. Back when he was, late teens, early 20s. and all through his 20s. So he got very good at those subjects. Then came across pickup. So he was an established man with mindset and abilities in life. He had value, and then learned pickup. So his pickup had substance. It wasn't a bunch of college kids learning pickup that had no life. So the game took on a very real adult flavor. And that's where AZD brings in his acting and his mindset and his freedom and his spirituality, that it's very not adult. He's very playful, but it's both. There's a super high standard for relationships and for students that a kid would never. What is that? That's not youthful. But there's a playfulness and a dynamism and a non-attachment that's very kiddish. And that's his game. He's free and playful and fun. And if the woman violates, then the fucking Dracula comes in, these standards and whatever, or you're dead, out of my life. Okay, question. Now, in regards to communicating with different women to see how they interact and react to, is there any change to the way you would communicate with women for the fact that not all women are the same way, personality, attitude, etc.? A part of your question made it seem like the women were interacting in the same room at the same time. But then the rest of the question made it seem like, well, just each person individually. So each person is an individual. It's my experience that they are an individual, and it's a really mind-shaping experience when you first get two girlfriends or more, because you'll experience love and rapport and comfort and sexuality from totally different vantage points. And when you're in a one-on-one relationship, you lose the fact that everybody else is very different, actually. And you just mold yourself to that person. And then when you break up, you're kind of lost and confused. And then it's kind of awkward. The next person, you kind of try to pick it up where you left off the last person, or you try to use like how you learned how to be in a relationship from the last person, and with the new relationship, they're a totally new person. And so you'll go through the letting go process and reshaping yourself, and you probably get with someone very similar to the last one because that's the pattern you have. But when you work your way into multiple relationships by expanding your abilities as a man, basically, higher survival, higher ability to communicate, higher responsibility, just a better man, higher value man. And multiple relationships becomes realistic for you. It can happen. And then it happens, you'll see that the girls are very different. And you've been very limiting yourself to just the shape of one girl. And yeah, that's amazing. But I see that you're saying the question was more for individual interactions. Brother, are you able to stream and go live? It would be a lot faster back and forth if we're able to stream, and then the ideas would be a lot faster. Other than that, the question was more for individual interactions. Well, I think I answered that. Everybody's different, so of course everybody's different. You communicate differently with everybody. Okay, I see the Instagram behind this Instagram. Let's see. Thank you, Solo. What's up, Chris? Or what's up, Solo? That's he said. What's up, Chris? All right, everybody. So maybe Alicio wants to go live. TikTok, you're welcome to go live. Other Instagram, you're welcome to go live. And let's see if there's any comments here on YouTube. None yet. We got Lex on the other day. Lex had some interesting things to say, but then the stream ended. I didn't see the comments. So if Lex, you're ever on, just comment again. I'll see it. Okay. All right. What's up, Chris? Okay. So wrapping it up then, day game versus night game. It's not even. So what did I title this? I forget what I titled it. I think I did label it day game versus night game. There's a video circulating. It's on AZD's YouTube, and I've sent it individually to people of him doing street game. We've learned from different street game pickup artists, and we're very well aware of street game and pimps and things like that. And, this podcaster had challenged AZD because AZD claims he can make any woman like him if she gives him 5 minutes to talk to him. And because it's all in talking. There's other things with talk, tonality, phase, touch, whatever comes with talking. Even if there's no touch, if it's on the phone, even. But tonality, and tonality works on the phone if you ever thought about it, because you can even almost see the person's face based on like how they sound. What if they laugh? If they laugh, you really get an idea. If they're crying, you get an idea. Like you get an idea of what the face looks like by how it sounds. And So this guy accepted the challenge, took him in the streets here on the strip here in Las Vegas with camera crew and whatever, and he interacted with like six or seven different women, some of them hideous, and several of them cute. And it's amazing. And they're all initial reactions to him because he's heavily tattooed and there's like 10 guys around him in the middle of the street with a camera on them. So it's reasonable that the girl would be, you would be fucking shy. And, but after 5 minutes of conversation, man, he either charms them or he kind of corners them into admitting that character is more important than looks. And as the girl is admitting it, you see her change. Like she's having to confront the idea that she's reacting to the person AZD. She's reacting to AZD's appearance. Meanwhile, he's guiding her to the perception of his character. And then you'll see her flip. Of like seven girls, one right away said she would date him. She was hideous, but she was from like gangs in Hawaii, and she was like she was like in love right away. And then, probably four or five of the remaining girls swayed into they would date him. And one never said that she would date him, but she was also nasty, just huge, black, fat, and very superficial. Was like, it's your character, but the way you look. It's your character, but your tattoos. And again, 10 guys, bunch of live streaming cameras and a real camera on, and an interviewer, like maybe under the pressure, she was just saying that, because 6 out of 7 said yes. So I don't know, the stats are pretty good, especially since he's not even doing pickup. He's literally just talking to them. He's not even doing pickup, but he is dripping seduction. Like you see fangs on like a predator in a cartoon or something, like blood's dripping. Like seduction is dripping off of him. He's just like, but it's not what you think because he's not sleazy. He's not like just unpredictable enough that it pulls your attention on it. It's beautiful and unpredictable. It's not just unpredictable like Outlandish Psycho, like I was saying a little bit ago. And it's beautiful, not like he's a butterfly. Like it's beautiful to, if a guy was a comedian and he's just so clever and just like witty, you can tell he's ad-libbing. He's not making it all up, but like he's organic with it. Like it's beautiful, man. It's so intelligent. You see a philosopher just lay out a beautiful argument. So I'm saying like a guy that's doing pickup, it's beautiful, man. Like you're you're literally making the girl more beautiful because as a girl gets attracted to you, she gets more beautiful. You should see it. We see it all the time because we're in the laboratory consistently here in Las Vegas. You guys got to come to Las Vegas and see what real game looks like. Apex game. We're players. We play the game with AZD, but we're next to the world champ. It's kind of hard to pull chicks when you're next to the world champ who's pulling all the chicks. But that we're here for that because, man, I don't want to be anything less than the best. I'm not trying to go to some other city so I can get more chicks, but always know in my mind that there's that guy in that city that's so good. I guess I could travel and visit, but it I would have to go through the same realization again. I've already had the realizations that if I'm going to be the best, it's better to just live near him and game with him regularly instead of traveling once a month. But everybody goes in their own evolution. Everybody's got their own context. Where are you coming from? What relationships do you have? What jobs do you have? What family? Where? You know, you work it for yourself. I'm here as a minister of what AZD is doing, teaching, taught, all that stuff. I'm like a librarian. I'm a curriculum builder. I'm a teacher in my own way. This is a teaching. I teach on the stream. And the secret is, even though there's not a trillion people on the streams, is that me getting my ideas to you and perceiving at least that you're listening. I don't know. I imagine you're listening. Maybe you're not. TK's listening on TikTok. I guess. Probably half the viewers are TikTok or are TK. TK just goes on like all the devices just to show support. I mean, it's dope. I appreciate it. That. But I perceive that you're getting what I'm saying. And I calibrate what I'm saying to you when I see you join and, multiple and whatever. And I get that you're joining because you know who I am and who I am related relative to AZD and in relation to IMC. So you're here for IMC and AZD stuff through Yogi Chris ministry. And me making sense of my ideas and chaining them together, not losing my way and understanding like what I'm saying, I'm transferring value to you guys, is sharpening my sword. It's sharpening my axe. So I can go out there and cut. So I can write better emails. So I can message guys better. So I understand more when the next guy who wants help is on the phone with me. I have my own ideas clearer so I could get him to the result because the result is learned from AZD. You'll get some breakthroughs with me, but that's, I mean, 99.9% of those are just reflections of what I've learned from AZD. A little bit of my sauce in there, probably. I mean, of course, my innovation. I don't know what percentage it is, but it's so much of what I know, it's indistinguishable. I could not claim any knowledge of game without what I've learned from AZD. I've learned so much and I've been studying for so long. Lectures, going infield, moving around, committing. It costs money. Going in business with them, even though there was no profit in it. We started a fight center, traveling to LA and Utah and whatever, and just for the experience of being in the vehicle with them. Because how does the world's greatest living player, road trip? How does he road trip? Hey man, how does he walk the New York Strip? The it's a steak. How does he walk the Vegas Strip? How does he walk the Hollywood Strip? How does he walk the streets? How does the world's greatest living player of the game with women, beautiful women, the greatest, how does he walk the streets? You think it's like you and me? You think it's like you and you? Really? You think it's the same as what you've seen other people do? That rhymed. It's like I said, it's slightly offbeat. It's just enough out of habit, out of the pattern that people are used to seeing that it pulls your attention. He's dripping seduction. How he walks, how he talks, his responses, they're not out of the ordinary. They're not weird. They are out of the ordinary. It's just, they're not like off-putting. They're just like, and it's amazing to certain people, he'll stretch it further. He'll be way more out of the ordinary. To other people, he'll be just barely out of the ordinary. But he's just not, you wouldn't predict his replies, his movement. And it's not that he's like flailing. It's just there's something a little bit. You got to see it. It's like seeing a master painter, the subtlety of their paint stroke, or a master guitarist. Man, maybe you can hear it on the album, but if you looked at it in person, you would see the difference between that master guitarist and everybody else. The master. There's just a love of the game and the plucking, and there's the whole body is playing the instrument. He is the guitar. The guitar and him are one, and it's like, and when AZD talks with women, he melds with them, but not in a way that he loses himself or he becomes pathetic or that because he'll effortlessly pull another girl in. Now it's two girls. Even a guy. He doesn't push the guy away. The guy helps him because he could even be trying to beat him or whatever. He's just so good that any guy, he needs the girl to realize how good he is. And another guy involved in the interaction will clearly demonstrate how good AZD is. Everybody, celebrities, rich guys, owners, athletes, you name it, I've seen it. The guy will only help AZD get the hot chick because the difference in skill level and ability to communicate and understand the woman is such a big distance. It doesn't matter what they do in life. They can be the best at the best at whatever they do in life. If it's not the best of getting women, then getting women will beat them in the game of getting women. So whatever you're trying to do to make all that money and get your life together, at the end of the day, you're doing that to get the woman. And at the end of the day, you did nothing to get better at getting the woman. Getting money doesn't make you better at getting women. It just helps you get women. But that doesn't make you better at getting women. Give a bunch of money like a lotto winner, they waste it because they don't know how to do money. Give some women to a guy who only knows how to make money. He doesn't know anything about women. He just knows money. Cool, that's great. It'll help you get women, but not the way AZD does, and so then you won't have lasting relationships. You won't have multiple relationships. You could try, so many have failed. I've seen it. I've been around for 10 years. I've been running AZD shit for like 5, 6 years. Whatever you're doing, your body, fitness, athletics, school. I have a PhD. I'm a doctor. School, dance, salsa, shooting guns, military. Be the best. That's great. You could be the goddamn best that ever lived, ever, and ever will live. If it's not at getting women, then it didn't help you get women. And that's going to be real humbling if you're ever around a real player. And if you're ever around the greatest player, you probably wouldn't even notice. But if you were a real player, then you'd notice. A real player would notice that AZD is the GOAT. Somebody who's not a real player wouldn't even notice that AZD is the GOAT. He would just know something. He would know he gets the girl, but wouldn't acknowledge that he's the greatest. But a real player, a pickup coach, or pickup artist, a dating coach, dating artist, or just an alpha male, there's some alpha males out there. Around AZD will quickly tell that he is way better. Way better. So much better. It's not, it's humbling. You need to come and get this reference. You need a reference, not me. Not me talking about it, not even him talking about it. You got to come to Vegas. What's holding you guys back from just coming to Vegas? We got a guy coming from Denmark next month. The month after that, we got a guy coming from Slovenia. Slovenia. You know how much they make in Slovenia? He borrowed money, he sold things, he found it. He's 20 years old. He's turning 21. He's coming here. You can do it if they can do it. Guys from Canada come here. We got a guy moving here from Tennessee less than a month, less than a month from now. Why are you not in Vegas getting the reference of the apex player, the top seducer? If you're watching me, if you're watching the content on these channels, you clearly want game. What are you doing about it? Are you waiting for something? The perfect moment or, when you win the lottery or what? What? You should at least be DMing me for free shit. You should at least be DMing me and asking, "What can I do for you that I could do some work trade because I have no money." If you're not messaging me, then you're asleep. You are a zombie. You might think others are zombies. You're a zombie. Some of you may be brand new. Okay. So I just laid out the logic. It makes sense. Go to imcbase1.com, IMCBASEONE, imcbase1.com. See all the advanced curriculums. Talk to me about it. You're here on this channel. There's a way to message me or email me. Even if you're on YouTube, go to Instagram, IMCBase number one. The website is ONE. The Instagram is the number one, IMC Base One, or AZD IMC Nation. I'm also streaming there. TikTok, you can just message me. You can message me. Get to know what's available on Earth. The longer you wait, the more your patterns crystallize in the wrong direction. You have wrong patterns because you're not doing it right, because you don't have the result. And what do you think is going to happen? Is it just going to break free? You're going to break the chains and be a player one day. You don't care. I'm chasing the money. Bro, how short-sighted are you? No woman should ever follow you because you're so short-sighted. I just laid it out. You're going to be the best at making money. Ideally, in your fantasy, you get good at making money. Most guys don't. But if you did, then what? Then you're going to learn the game, bro. You're setting yourself, first of all, you're not, because you're going to immediately use your money to get whatever woman you can and then get pregnant with her. She's going to get pregnant. Or she's going to devastate you. Or you'll waste all your money on her, crash your business, and have to start over again. What else do you think is going to happen? That is the 100% what happens. You got to learn game while you build your business simultaneously. If you try to learn game without building your business, that's all of the other students of other pickup coaches. They're trying to shortcut game, not realizing you need life. You need a life to have results with women. But don't wait to build a life to have results because the life you're building is not attractive to women. You'll build a life that's completely useless to a life with women. It's again, you're working to retire later. You can't wait for the weekend. You're trying to make money now so you can get women later. You're pathetic. You're a liability to all humanity. And all you need to do is message me to get some free shit. And if you could pay for shit, you should pay for shit. And if you don't like it, then tell me and then fuck off. You don't have to tell me. But I get it. If it didn't help, but I've never, there's been a handful of people that have like been disappointed, and I've sold to 1,000+ people. So it's a very small amount. And those people always just afterwards, they implode. That's why I know. They're haters, they have insecurities, they're skeptics to an unhealthy degree, meaning they're just unreasonably skeptical. They have demons, bro, because when they touch the light, the goodness of the advanced game curriculum that AZD teaches, they should be changed. There's 30 other people that got changed by that. Why are you the one that like, but that's what happens. Sometimes you give LSD to somebody and they go psycho. You give mushrooms to somebody and they lose themselves. They're never the same. Sometimes you give AZD tech to somebody and you give the red pill to somebody about the mating matrix and they go bonkers, dude. They got a lot of demons, a lot of traumas, a lot of crimes they've done against women and men or whoever. They've done crimes that they hide secret. And to really bring your personality out in the game, that's going to be tough. Okay. All right, we got to wrap it, everybody. There's been some of you that have been on the whole time. And so obviously you're resonating with this stuff, but for whatever reason, you have not requested to go live. And I don't know if you've sent me a DM. So you should do that. Go to the link in the bio or in the description on YouTube, imcbase1.com. Check it out. Join the newsletter. It's free. Get 66 plus pieces of exclusive content that you won't find anywhere else on the internet or social media, anywhere of AZD content. 66 pieces. Get an email every other day. And it's free. And in that, you'll see programs, things you can buy, whatever. But that's what a newsletter is. You get value every email. So sign up for that. And hopefully, I get to meet somebody here in Vegas. TK was on TikTok. TK moved to Vegas. He was a guy from Wisconsin. I think maybe he's even in Florida at the time I first got a hold of him, like 4 or 5 years ago. Been around. I've seen him in person, but he lived in Wisconsin forever. He moved to Vegas a few months ago. He's in Vegas. He's here. He's stepping closer and closer and closer to being around the inner circle of IMC because it's truly a phenomenon, and we're truly living an experience with women and life and each other and camaraderie and communication. And by extension, our business and family and everything we do in life is touched by the evolution we have in the game with AZD. You evolve in the game, it's going to contact every other area of your life. That's the difference. You evolve your game, it contacts everything. You evolve everything else, it doesn't really contact your game. You got to go to the heart of the matter. You're doing everything you're doing for women, but everything you're doing is not helping you with women. It's a paradox, pair of fucking docs. A pair of docks that you dock ships at. Okay. I could talk forever, like hearing myself, but nobody's really participating. TK, shout out. Thanks for the comment.